and also to gain some knowledge that will enhance your experience in life. This 90 minutes that we are going to spend today is really going to be fun and exciting. Well, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I, Jamie Rooney, Sergeant at Arms, welcome you all to the 360th meeting of Thoughtware Toastmasters Club. The mission of Toastmasters is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to deliver communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self confidence and personal growth. Today, like any other meeting, we also have some guidelines to be followed during the meeting proceedings. Kindly refrain from speaking on taboo topics like sex, religion, and politics. Keep your mobile phones on silent so that you are not disturbing any speaker or role player in the meeting. Please keep yourself away from any noise making devices so that it does not distract anyone during the meeting proceedings. When you are called upon, you can enable your audio and video, and for the rest of the period, it can be disabled. Now, without any further delay, I would like to hand over the meeting control to our presiding officer, a very passionate leader who motivates every individual to maximize their potential. He is the first generation IT entrepreneur with more than 2 decades of experience in the IT field. Been in Toastmaster for the last 10 years and has risen up to various levels at Toastmasters, the latest being immediate past district director. Please put your hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jimmy, for setting up the introduction and laying down the ground rules for the meeting. A very good morning, everybody. Welcome to meeting number 360 of Wake Up Chennai Toastmasters Club. We all know the importance of time in our lives, and we all know the importance of the various schedules that we keep. But when you work with people from different nationalities, it gives us a great understanding about how people value the importance of time. I was once in a meeting with a lot of Japanese customers. This was in Hiroshima, and the meeting was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So some people came in because this was after lunch. They all came in around 1:45. They looked around. So some of them kept their writing pads or laptops in the room. They went out. Exactly by 1:55, all of them came in, and sharp at the dot of 2, the meeting started. They didn't even ask who's there, who's not there, nothing. The person who was supposed to open the meeting, he just stood up and started speaking. It was assumed that everybody will be there, and everybody was there. When you travel in Japan on the bullet trains, they tell you very clearly that if your train to a destination leaves at, say, for example, 7:18, and there's a train to the same destination which comes in at 7:15, that is not your train. So don't board the train thinking that my train has come early. Your train will arrive at the platform only at 7:18, and it comes at 7:18. And if it does come late, they profusely apologize, which never happens. I was once with a customer in Delhi, Japanese customer. He was 3 minutes late for a meeting because he got caught up in traffic. 3 minutes later, and he apologized for the next 10 minutes. And we were thinking, why are you even apologizing? We are used to turning up half an hour late for meetings. We have seen people do that, but they don't even apologize. And he was like coming in at 3 minutes late, and he said, sorry for the next 10 minutes. Cut to Europe. We had a German customer used to work with, and he was on a conference call once with a lot of other people. Okay? So the whoever hosted the meeting said that the meeting will start at 10 a.m. I still remember. And those were not the time of video calls. This was the time of only voice calls. So he logged in by 9:55, and he waited there. And I was also on the call, but till the host opens the bridge, both sides can only hear music. So he was on the call, and I was also on the call. So he waited till 10:05, and then at 10:10, he sends a message to everybody saying that this is actually a very lousy music playing on the call. I don't want my time hanging on to this. So thank you everybody. I'm stepping out of this meeting. And then the host comes in and says, sorry, I was late. Can you join back? He never joined back. Okay? He told them that you should know the value of time. Okay? You can't put a meeting at 10 o'clock and then join at 10:15 and expect people to wait for somebody. He never joined the call. But what that did is that gave a message to everybody that next time you should be on the call on time. So that is what is the essence of time. Now, some people will say, what happens if it goes, I get delayed by 5-10 minutes. I was in some other meeting. You were in some other meeting. That is the importance to you, not to the importance to others who are waiting here. They were not in that meeting. Okay? I know of a customer who never used to do back-to-back calls. If he had a call from us from 10 to 11, he will ensure that his next call starts only at 11:30. But he will say that I keep that half an hour buffer in between. If this call finishes on time, good. It gives me half an hour to catch up on other things. If this call goes late by half an hour, I'm still not late for the next meeting. But that was his way of managing time. Why we are saying all this is, one is being punctual teaches us a lot of things not only Toastmasters, in real life also. It helps us to respect others, okay? Because it's not only your time, it's others' time also. It makes you respect others. It makes you know the value of doing things in an efficient manner. You just can't keep a lot of people waiting, come and say that I was caught up, I had this, I had that. It allows us not to show undue importance to ourselves. And third is it allows us to do things in a more effective manner. When you plan things and you keep an eye on time, it helps you to say, yes, this is what my next thing is. How do I communicate effectively in a meeting? How do I get things done effectively in a meeting? How do I make decisions quickly and effectively? So that's what the importance of time teaches all of us. So let's get into our meeting today. So we've got only a limited audience, but that's fine. It is, I think, the quality that matters on what we do in a Toastmasters meeting. We've got Sendil here. Sendil has always been a good supporter of Wake Up Chennai. Sorry, Thoughtware Toastmasters. Pardon my slip of tongue. This is what happens when you go into more than one meeting as a presiding officer. So, Sendil, you want to give a quick introduction about yourself?
Sure,
I know you
thanks,
have
Mr.
introduced earlier also, but this is for the benefit of everyone.
Sure, thank you. Hi all, I'm Senthil. I'm from Barclays Chennai Toastmasters Club. As Satish Menon mentioned, this club is quite familiar to me, and I also used to attend Wake Up Chennai Toastmasters Club. Maybe it happens with me as well. So thank you so much. And I'm happy that I got the role today to be here in this meeting and be a part of this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sendil. So before we get into the next proceedings of the meeting, let me call upon our club secretary, Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, to read out the meeting minutes of meeting number 359, which was held last Saturday. Over to you, Toastmaster Uma.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Satish Menon. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is the minutes of meeting for Thoughtware Toastmasters Club meeting number 359, held on November 18, 2023, with distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon presiding. The members present by Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, Toastmaster Girish, Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, Toastmaster Raja Balaji, Toastmaster Jemi, Toastmaster Kaveri, Toastmaster Rajeshwari, Toastmaster Kapak Lakshmi, Guest Toastmaster Yuvraj, Guest Toastmaster Eureka, Guest Amu, Guest Toastmaster Adi, Guest Toastmaster Bharat. The members absent by Toastmaster Sidambaram Tanu, Toastmaster Soundararajan, Toastmaster Akshaya, Toastmaster Ranjit, Toastmaster Hari, Toastmaster Tilak, and Toastmaster Nandita. Meeting started by the SAA Toastmaster Jimmy at 9:30 a.m. Presiding Officer Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon started the meeting mentioning the importance of knowing the journey in Toastmasters and answering the question, why? The Secretary presented the MOM of previous meeting number 358. The member roles were Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, with the theme Kanban, Table Topics Master Toastmaster Rajeshwari, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kaveri, Evaluators Toastmaster Adi Keshman and Toastmaster Raja Balaji, Grammarian Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon with the word of the day transient and idiom of the day, it is not rocket science. Half counter Toastmaster Jenny and timer Toastmaster Kapak Lakshmi. Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari started the session talking about procrastination and how we are affected by that. Prepared speeches were presented by Toastmaster Eureka on the title, I Feel Safe When I Am Part of the Crowd in Level 1 Dynamic Leadership, and Toastmaster Trilokesh on an unexpected analogy in Level 2 in Leadership Development. Table topics questions were attempted by Toastmaster Jimmy on the topic, have you ever felt completing the task simply by watching? Yes, Toastmaster Eureka on the topic, have you ever felt lack of understanding of the context create waste? Guest Toastmaster Trilokesh expressed thoughts on topic, living without aim is like sailing without a compass. Toastmaster Jirish on topic, nothing adventure, nothing attained. Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon on topic, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. Guest Toastmaster Reka on topic, when we remain silent, we get listen. What is your take? Evaluations were presented by Toastmaster Adi Keshwan by the speech of Toastmaster Eureka, and Toastmaster Trilokesh evaluated the speech by Toastmaster Raja Balaji evaluated the speech by Toastmaster Trilokesh. Tag team reports were received and the general evaluated comments were commendations. The MOM was read well. The overall structure of the meeting is very well. Tag team did their role very well. The recommendations were SAA can read out the mission statement at the start of the meeting. Toastmaster timer can alert every role player when they are breaching the time. In speech evaluations, you can avoid suggesting the use the word of the day and idiom of the day. The meeting feedback received by guest Toastmaster Trilokesh and guest Toastmaster Adi Keshwan. Club awards were presented. First evaluator Toastmaster Raja Balaji. The table topics by Toastmaster Eureka. The speaker Toastmaster Trilokesh. Best role player Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, the Toastmaster of the Day. And best auxiliary role player Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, the grammarian. The meeting adjourned at 11:10 a.m. This is all for the moments of the meeting. Over to Distinguished Toastmaster Satish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, for reading out the meeting minutes of the previous meeting. Let's get into our meeting proceedings. Every Toastmaster meeting has multiple segments, and we all believe that for a meeting to run effectively, there should be one person who should be anchoring the entire meeting from start to end and letting people know a lot about things that they don't know, which in Toastmasters parlance we call as introducing a theme into a meeting. So talk to people about things which they would know, and if they don't know, they will get to learn. Setting the theme for the entire meeting so that every speaker who speaks references the theme in their speeches, so that by the end of the meeting, we all go out better informed, better learned. This person is called as the Toastmaster of the Day, and today's Toastmaster of the Day is a very passionate Toastmaster. She's based out of Mumbai, but she actively supports our club in Chennai. She's been a member of one other club, sorry. What I like about her is she's very enthusiastic about taking up any role in a meeting. Do we have members from a lot of places? Imagine somebody from Mumbai joining into a club in Chennai, that too every week, and supporting the club in achieving the club mission. So please welcome our Toastmaster of the Day for today, Toastmaster Jemi Romari. Over to you, Toastmaster Jemi.
Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Satish, for that wonderful introduction. Once again, I welcome fellow Toastmasters and guests today to this meeting. Friends, when you hear the word reflection, what comes to your mind? Can anybody say what comes to their mind when they hear the word reflection?
Mirror.
Great. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Yes, I also, think about it as mirror only, because mirror is something which helps you understand what you are, what you can be. So that is something that resonates to me as well. But in physics, reflection means change in direction of a wavefront at an interface between two different media, so that the wavefront returns into the medium from which it originated. So an example could be reflection of light, sound, and water waves. Friends, in our everyday life, we need to understand that reflection is a process which helps you gain insight into your own professional practice by thinking analytically about any element. Reflection allows you to identify and appreciate positive experiences and better identify ways that you can improve your practice and delivery. It can also be useful when you have had more challenging experiences, helping you to process and learn from them. Of course, I will give you more insights on what reflections are and how it can help you, but it is time to move ahead with the agenda of the meeting. So, the structure of a Toastmasters meeting is divided into three parts: the prepared speech, table topics, and evaluation. We also have a special element today of the education section. But before we begin the first session of prepared speeches, I would like to welcome and introduce the general evaluator to explain the role a software engineer with more than 9 years of experience in IT industry. Apart from reading books, he loves to travel and explore new things. A district basketball player, second runner-up in Mr. Chennai contest 2017. This passionate Toastmaster is here to improve and hone his communication and leadership skills. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Girish. Toastmaster Girish, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jamie Romani, for the warm introduction. Yes, today I'll be playing the role of general evaluator, and I'm here to note down uh, the meeting proceedings and to provide my feedback at the end of the meeting. And I'm not all alone to do this. I have a team called the TAC team. T stands for timer, A stands for R counter, and G stands for the grammarian. Unfortunately, today the timer was not able to turn up, and the timer role will be done by our distinguished Toastmaster, Satish Menon. Thank you, Satish Menon, for taking up the role in the last minute. Could you please explain the role of the timer?
Thank you, Toastmaster Girish. All of you can see my screen. You can see my screen with the traffic signal lights on my background. So what I will do is whenever the time is green, I will just change this to green. Can you see green now? And whenever it is time for yellow, I'll change it to yellow. And whenever it is time for red, I will change it to red. So this is the way it will work. And please remember that for prepared speeches, the time is 5 to 7 minutes. For table topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluations, it is 2 to 3 minutes. So prepared speeches, the green will go at 6. green will go at 5, the yellow goes at 6, and the red goes at 7. For table topics, the green will go at 1 minute, yellow at 1:30, and red at 2. For evaluations, the green will go up at 2, the yellow at 2:30, and the red at 3. The educational session, which has been given by me, is got a time of 20 minutes. For that, the green is at 18, the yellow at 19, and the red at 20. So that is how the timer will operate. So I request all of you to just keep my screen in your sight so that you see the color changing. That's it from the timer side. Back to you, Toastmaster Jirish.
Thank you, the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. For your kind information, we have advanced speech. The prepared speech is, is for 15 to 20 minutes. So the green will be at 15 minutes, and
Okay,
yellow will be at 18, and the red will be at 20.
fine.
Just wanted to know. So yes, thank you so much. With this, we will move on to our next role player, the R counter. Today, the R counter is being played by Toastmaster Hari Krishna. Toastmaster Hari Krishna, could you please step forward and introduce the role of R counter?
Thank you, Toastmaster Jirish. Good morning, Toastmasters and fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of our counter is to note words and sounds that are used as filler words by anyone who speaks in the meeting. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words like and, well, but, so, likewise. I will also note the filler words including or etc. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as this means, like repetitive words. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used in this meeting with expressions. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Jirish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hari Krishna. Next, we have the grammarian. The grammarian is being played by Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Toastmaster Rajeshwari, could you please step forward and explain the role of the grammarian today?
Thank you, Toastmaster Jiris. Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is idiosyncratic, which means peculiar or individual. An example of using the word is, she emerged as one of the great idiosyncratic talent of the 90s. And idiom of the day is to cut corners, which means to perform or do something fastest, easiest, or cheapest way. An example of using the word is, one should not cut corners when dreams are high. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day and idiom of the day. I will give a word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster Jirish. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari, for explaining the role of the grammarian. So with this, I hand over the control back to the Toastmaster of the day, and we'll be back at the time of the evaluation segment. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster Jamie Roman.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jirish, for explaining your role very clearly along with the tag team. Now, moving forward to our education session, this person needs no introduction as he has already created a mark for himself in the world of Toastmasters. Please put your hands together for none other than distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Today, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon will share insights on selecting your topics. Satish Menon, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jimmy. Let me first just get my topic opened. Just a minute.
I will note down the timing sequence for you, Satish. Okay.
Sure. It is 5. It's 15 minutes, so it is 5, 12, and this thing 15.
Okay. Okay. 10, 12, and 15. Fine. I'll note down.
Sure. I think there is some issue with this sharing. I open the window. Is my presentation visible?
Your screen is visible, but we
Yes,
are seeing
Satish.
some list of files, not the exact
Only list of
presentation.
files, no? Okay.
Yes.
There is some. Can I, if I email it to someone, can somebody share the screen?
Yes, Satish.
Yeah. So whom should I send it to?
I will share the screen.
You will share?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. I will just, because this happened in some other meeting also. This particular one is not.
File we can attach in the chat also.
File we can attach in chat.
Yes.
Let me try to do that. It is asking for no, not a worry. I will just send it across right now. Because some of these presentations which are downloaded from TI side, they have this issue. I'm just sending it to Thoughtware Toastmasters. Why I'm doing it is everybody can then take a look at it. This is available on the Toastmasters International website, but for the benefit of all, I have sent it to Thoughtware Toastmasters Wake Up, WhatsApp group. Kaveri, if you can just pick it up from there.
Yes, let me share my screen. Can I get go host access?
Sure, sure. Given.
Okay.
Can you put it in? Yeah, thank you. When I say next slide, you can go to the next one. Okay? And wherever there is down arrow, I will just put down arrow. Then you can basically, so that the next bullet point comes up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm starting. Timer, please note. So good morning, everyone. In Toastmasters, one of the biggest challenges that we have is how to select a topic, what to speak, where to speak, whom to speak. Will the audience understand what we are speaking? How do we make a more effective presentation? How do we convey our message? How do we win a club contest? How do we win a district contest? That's all depends on what kind of topic you select. And for selecting a topic, there are a lot of things that we need to understand before we go ahead and start crafting our speech. Next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So there are two sources by which we can start building on our topic. Down arrow. And sources are all around us. The first one is the personal experience. Now, this is the most important of everything. We all have a wealth of stories with us and experiences on which we can dip into and create a speech on any topic that we want to speak to. A lot of people don't understand what you have with us. Like in the story, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, where the guy roams the entire world, but then he figures out that the treasure was beneath the bench that he was sitting on. It is the same thing with us. We go and look for different sources of information to create a script, but we don't understand that the story of the script or the information about the script is lying within us. So personal experience is one of the most important things that we can use to create a script. If somebody tells you write a script, or you want to write a script to give somebody a motivational talk, look about what challenges you had in life and speak about it. Okay. Even if it is a failure, it doesn't matter. No, I failed, but today I'm here. That itself is a motivation for someone. You want to talk about educational experience or give an educational talk, pick on a subject that you are familiar with and start talking on that. Somebody is good in maths, you want to talk about maths, talk about maths. Somebody is good in economics, talk about economics. Somebody is good in history, talk about history. So your personal experiences matter a lot in terms of how you can pick a topic. Down arrow. And so personal experiences come from your interest. Like Toastmaster Girish is into bodybuilding, so that's an interest. If he wants to talk about something, he can build a story around that, a motivational topic around it, an informational topic around it, an educational topic around it. Okay? When you do that, you speak more effectively. Words come to you naturally. Okay? So speak from your interest. Down arrow. Career. Again, I talked about. Okay, how did my career progress? Was I a failure in life? Even if I was, look where I am today. Does it matter? Doesn't matter. Okay. If I was successful in school and college, now I am a CEO of an organization. Look where I reached. Okay, that's again a experience to talk. What are the challenges you had running an organization? What are the challenges you had working with co-workers? How you build an organization from 0 to 500? Those are all experiences that you can talk about. Next, down arrow. Family, again, a very important source of wealth of information which is there, on which you can craft a speech. Of the growing up years, your formative years, school years, college years, relatives, friends, parents, siblings, a lot wealth of experience lying there for you to create a speech. Next. Education, you already talked about it. How was my educational career? What did I learn in school and college? What I did not learn? Where I succeeded, where I failed? Everything you can talk about. Next one. Next. The next is reference material. Now, this is very important. You got a base. So I got a base. Like take the example of Girish. Okay, now he says he's into bodybuilding. Now he's got a lot of experience that he wants to talk. Now, if he wants to reference more about it, then you go to reference material. Okay? Like somebody said, what is the effective kind of exercises that I need to do to kind of become a good bodybuilder? Okay? There's a lot of reference material that is there. If you want to talk about people who have done it before, the most authentic source of information is Arnold Schwarzenegger's book on bodybuilding. He was Mr. Universe 12 times. Okay, so there's nobody more experienced than him to write a book about. So these are all reference material that you reference to further give credibility to your speech. One is your experience. Second is you want to add more credibility. Okay? So people will Google and say, so and so said this, so and so said this. That is on the surface. Talk more detail. That is where the reference material comes in. Next. Websites. The reference material, you could source the web, a very good source of information today. People don't have to go sit in a library and look at reference material. Websites are easily available. Next one. Books. Again, authentic, detailed source of information. Next one. Magazines. Okay. Magazines, again, magazines which talk about a certain subject. Now, sticking on to the subject of bodybuilding, there are a lot of certain magazines that are only talking on that topic. Okay. So when you read those magazines, you get a lot of information about, like Toastmasters, for example. Toastmasters doesn't talk about bodybuilding, but I'm saying if you want to speak about leadership development, communication, you read the Toastmasters magazine. The wealth of information that is there. So you could reference some of that when you want to create a topic or speak on a topic. Next one. Newspapers, very, very important, especially if you want to quote what happened on a certain day or what somebody said or something. It's very, very important that you can go read the newspaper, which is why we advocate reading newspapers on a daily basis. And today with websites, you can also go back and search information because all the past newspapers are available in archive. You can go and search certain information because whatever is published in the newspapers is authentic. Okay? So the information can be kind of cross-checked. It will be verified information. So why we say use a newspaper. Next one. Now, when you get inspired, you can get inspiration from everywhere. Write it down, which is why a lot of people advocate that you keep a diary with you. Okay. So whatever thoughts come to your mind, just write it down in the diary. Some people write what happened during the day as part of a diary, so that then you can go back, reference it, and get your idea for your speech. I've seen some people when they're traveling, they keep writing. It could be a travelogue, it could be what they saw, the kind of people they meet when they're traveling, the experiences that they had when they're traveling. So when you write it down, it stays there and you can always reference it back. Next one. Narrow your selection. Okay. Next, down arrow. Audience. It's very important to know your audience. Otherwise, you could end up giving a wrong speech in front of a right speech in front of a wrong audience. Okay. Or vice versa. Okay. So whenever you go to give a speech, understand your audience. Don't speak something because you are an expert in it. You might be an expert, but the audience might be a novice. Your message will get nowhere. Okay. So which is why it's very important to know your audience and tailor your speech according to the audience needs. I might make a very good movie, technically good, acting good, everything good. But if it goes above the heads of the audience, it is a flop. Okay. But I could make a movie which could be, people will say, what is it that you're talking? Why are you showing things which are not possible? But then it goes very well down with the audience. So knowing your audience is very, very important. Next. How many people will be there? Okay. If there are more number of people, you need to have a very good speech because you can expect more answers, more questions. Lesser number of people also, you need to be very clear because lesser number of people will be more attentive because there are less people and you are facing them and speaking them, you can expect more questions. So knowing people is very important on how your message gets communicated. Next one. Age. Very important to understand the age of the audience. If you take a very high level speech and deliver it in front of kids or students, most of them may not get it because you are talking about something which they are not exposed to. At the same time, if you go to a senior audience which is very well informed and you quote something which is wrong, you can certainly expect a backlash from people saying what you are saying is not correct. Then you will end up defending yourself. Or you take a story which is meant for a low people in a lower age group and present it in front of seniors, chances are that it might not click with that audience. So knowing the age range of the audience is also very important before you present something. Okay. Next one. Familiar with the subject. First, when you understand the audience, look whether they are familiar. Say, for example, I talk very good on, say, economics. And most of the audience doesn't even know the E of economics. You might have given a very good speech. If I show it to an economist, they might say this is excellent. But the audience doesn't know anything about economics. So have they got anything? Nothing. So for them, your speech has been a big zero. That is why you should be very familiar about the subject. First, understand your audience. What is it that you're going to speak about? When you speak, will they understand? Or have people got an understanding about what you're speaking? Only then create a speech for that particular occasion. Next. Again, this is again familiar with the subject. How people in Toastmasters. Now, when we speak in Toastmasters, we don't give too many technical speeches in Toastmasters unless we tell people upfront that this is technical. Now, otherwise, our speeches are more generic. Anybody can pick it up. But when you go to present at a technical symposium, you need to be technical there. You can't be generic there because there is audience with a similar education, background, interest sitting there. When you go to present a research paper, you can very well be clear that most of the audience knows that subject that you're presenting. But when I'm talking about say, sales, or when I'm talking about developing self-confidence or developing the mental power, that time you know there are people with varied interests, but your topic can connect to a lot of people. But first of all, you need to understand what are they in there for. That's very clear. Language also makes a difference. I go and speak in high level English to an audience that is not very familiar with English. My speech might be good, but my message is not gone. Nobody has understood what I said, which is where knowing the background is also very important. Knowing their interest is also very important. Just don't go and speak because you think you have a good speech or you are a good speaker. The way you are effective and the way people perceive you to be good or the way you get your message across depends on all these things. Next slide. Down arrow. Occasion. Occasion also matters where you are speaking. Okay. Does the event have a theme? Like Toastmasters meeting have a theme. Does the event have a theme? Then you need to speak on the theme of the event. Right. Next one. When are you scheduled to speak? That's also very important. Early in the morning, people are fresh. You are the first speaker. You will get a lot of attention. After lunch, you are the next speaker to go up. People will be a bit drowsy because they've had a good lunch. So then you need to kind of energize the people to get them to listen to your speech. Otherwise, half of them will be drowsy. Okay? Is it towards evening? A lot of them will be wanting to go home or go join a cocktails party or dinner party that's happening after the event. How do you connect with people to say that, listen to my speech? So that is one of the reasons what you keep in mind is when you are scheduled to speak and accordingly tailor your presentation that way. Next. What will happen after your speech? Is that the meeting is going to close for lunch or dinner, or is there some other speaker waiting after you? There is some other speaker waiting after you, then you need to be cognizant of the time also. Okay? And that speaker is a famous celebrity, you are not. Then please imagine that people are waiting to listen to that speaker and not you. They are saying, why don't this guy speak and go out quickly? That for you to kind of hold your attention, it's very important that you kind of connect well with people using a very good topic. Next one. Narrow down your own abilities. How good is my ability to speak? That's also very important. Down arrow. Enthusiasm. The first thing that you should show when you're speaking is enthusiasm, which you always tell people, even if you don't know something, speak with enthusiasm. That enthusiasm will blur a lot of negatives that you have in your speech or in your content. Show interest in connecting to people. Ask questions. Immediately, if you ask questions, you get a lot of material for your next sentence from what the audience answers you. Okay. Next one. Knowledge base is very important, especially when you're going to speak on something. At least you should have that much of knowledge to hold a speech for the time that you're supposed to speak. If you tell somebody to write your speech and then give it, it's very difficult because then you have to only read from that script or speak from that script. That's like a movie actor. But even they have that. After they give the shot gets cut, it gets edited. In a live speaking environment, that's not the case. So your knowledge base is very important. The way you speak people will get to know what you know about it. Next one. Are you an authority on the topic? If you're an authority on the topic, then you can select that spot topic and speak fluently. If you're not an authority, then you need to do a lot of research, create the speech, and then go and speak. Next. Now, be specific again, because you don't have too much time. Like you see, I'm also running out of time now. So you have to be very, very specific in what you are speaking. Don't go all across without having any understanding of the time that is given to you. Down arrow. Is the topic enough for the time allotted? Very important. Okay. Some people might tell you to speak a lot in only 5 minutes. It might not do justice to what you're wanting to speak. So accordingly, you'll have to take only the main points and then speak on it. Next one. Do the sub points support the topic and add to the speech? This again is how you create your speech, depending on the time which is there. Do I create some sub points or bullet points and then speak on the speech? Down. What can be cut from the body of the speech? Then somebody tells you 15 minutes has now been cut to 5 minutes or 7 minutes. Then you have to immediately say, what is it that I can cut and what is it that I cannot cut? That this is something that should be 100% spoken. So that is what you need to narrow your selection. Next. In conclusion, what makes a good speech is personal experience, plus the research that you do, plus the experiences that you draw from others, and understanding the customer and tuning yourself to the needs of the customer or needs of the audience. Sorry. That is what makes an excellent speech topic. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. That was indeed an eye-opener. And I would request all of you not to cut corners in order to have a better speech. Thank you. Now, moving forward to our education session. Now, let us begin with the prepared speech session. Today, we have one speaker who is a versatile Toastmaster, an avid reader, author of 8 books, soft skill trainer, and also takes lessons on business management, has taken all the ESCOM roles and currently is the secretary of the club. I welcome Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari to the stage to give her speech. But before she begins, I would like to call upon her evaluator who would let us know the objective of her speech. A very humble yet dynamic person, Toastmaster Senthil. Toastmaster Senthil, welcome to the forum and over to you. Toastmaster Senthil?
You are on mute, Toastmaster Senthil. Not audible.
Senthil, you are not audible.
I think not audible.
Should Toastmaster Senthil rejoin?
Or could you please remove the headset and try?
Can log in and log out and log in again. If that makes a...
So friends, these things are very normal. In any meeting, we do face some hiccups at times. So this is life. We just need to bear with this. So please bear with us for another minute so that Toastmaster Senthil can join us back into this meeting.
Sorry.
Yes, you're audible now. Toastmaster Senthil, please read out the objectives of the speech.
I'm sorry, am I audible?
Yeah, you're
Yes, you
audible.
are.
Thank you. Thank you. Apologies for that. Today, Toastmaster Mamaheshwari is going to attempt her level 4 project 2 in strategic relationship pathway. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a Q&A session. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for managing the time so that there is adequate opportunity for both the speech as well as the Q&A session. So that's the objective of the speech, and all the very best to the speaker.
Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, P2P. P2P, Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So before starting my speech, please confirm if my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes. Screen is visible.
Okay, thank you. So very good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So today my topic is P2P, plot to publish. Something like writing a book, a fictional book in specific, and writing a story and till the point of publishing it. So what are all the things we can do and we cannot do? So I'm sharing my experience over here as a writer. So first, the first step in any writing a story in anything is obviously writing a plot, writing a story. So what are all the things we need to know? Can we write a story just like that? We need to know the basics in writing this. What we need to know. We need to have, this is one interesting part we need to understand. A story should have a beautiful arc. You should start with the beginning, an introduction on who, what, how, where, all those things should be at the start. Then it should come with a conflict or crisis or challenge, and that should go to the climax of that crisis and how the crisis or how the challenge is sorted out and the conclusion. Very simple. You can take up the crow and the pebble story. How the conflict, the introduction is a crow flying across the forest. The conflict is the crow is thirsty, it is looking for water. The crisis is it is finding a bit of water, but it is not able to drink it. The climax is it is trying to do it. And the solution, finding the pebbles, making the water rise and drinking the water. So that order should be there in your story. That is how the story should start, proceed, and finally end. Fine. We have our story arc. So can we start writing? Yes, but there are certain steps in writing your stories. Number one is you need to understand what is the baseline of story. What is it you're going to write? It could be various, you can have various references. It could be some news that can induce a spark in you in identifying the story. This can be my story plot. This can be my story. It could be your own life experience or the story you're hearing. This is one important item which I follow in writing my stories. I used to listen to a lot of different radios where people used to share their life experiences, and that created a spark in creating a story. Second, identifying the historical events. When we are going to write some story in line with some historical things, in line with the reality, you need to understand the historical events in creating the story plot. Best examples are like famous author Kalki's book like Ponniyin Selvan, which has come as a movie. That is not the exact history, but a story based on the historical events that has already happened. Based on that, he has created his own plot. And it could be around your surroundings, something happening around your surroundings that could spark a story. And the final one is my favorite because that is how majorly I get my plot. The way the things you see in your dreams. As soon as you get up, you will remember your dream for some 20-30 minutes. You can chart down what are the things you saw in your dreams, and that will create a beautiful plot. And you won't believe I have in full like close to some 50 to 58 plots that I got in just in my dreams earlier. So try to track your dreams. Try to identify some story plot from your dreams. Next, identifying your characters and the challenges. So you need to know what is the protagonist, the main characters, what could be the challenge of the main character. Because that will be the heart of the story. That will be the soul of the story. How the main character is trying to solve the challenge. That is how the story travels. So you need to be very clear on the challenge of the story. And you have to make sure that you are charting down all the character names, because the main characters, the most important characters, the main male, the female, the antagonist, the villain male, the female, or some close certain characters of the male or female, we will be remembering. Those smaller characters, even if you are so familiar with video games, we used to call it as NPC, the non-player character, which will come here and there. Sometimes we totally forget the names and we will try to get confused with the names and we might slowly change it. And that will definitely spoil the story. So try to maintain a chart on identifying the name of the characters and what is the characters all about. It will be easy for you to write throughout the story to refer this chart, and so we will not miss any intricate details while writing the story. The third is the parts and rule of the story. You need to identify various parts of the story. Yes, I have a baseline, how I can expand it. Say I have to write some 20 to 25 or some 30 chapters in my book. I need to expand. I need to expand and timeline. What will happen the first and how it is going to proceed. The next, and final. So you need to slowly expand. Have you seen how we used to write in English in our school, in English grammar? They used to give to write an article or a paragraph with smaller hints, and we will expand it like one full paragraph. The same way, you need to write smaller hints on various parts of your story that will help you to understand how my story is going to travel. Is this enough, or is something missing? While I was writing one of my novels called Go of the Maid, when I tried to track my story in these various timelines, I found it was missing something. It doesn't look interesting. I don't think it will sell it. That was my idea. And then I tried to incorporate some more characters in between the timeline, change the timeline. At the time of identifying the timeline, splitting up the chapters itself, I was able to understand my story doesn't sell. I need something more. So this timeline will help you to understand, is my story is going to be interesting? Does my book sell? Will my book sell? And the transition of the characters. Many times, many of the stories, many of the books fails because the author fails to identify the transition of character. The character might change from good to bad, bad to good, but we will forget how the transition should happen. It cannot happen abruptly. It cannot happen immediately. You should have a clear transition. Many of us would have heard the story Wizard of Oz, that how the green witch is getting formed, how the good witch is getting transferred into bad witch. There was a clear logic behind it. The same way, you need to have a clear transition of the character from the start to end, and you cannot change abruptly or without any logic. Suddenly, the character cannot change good or change bad without any logic. People will not accept the book if it is there. And there are certain things are there, something like must have or bylaws of the story. There are certain logics that will line with the various stories and we should not miss it. Say, for example, many of us would have heard about this wave of stories where the concept of fate is very important. When we are going for a story with magic, of course, we all know about Harry Potter, right? Even though the Indian magical stories doesn't have something called wand, the Western magical stories have something called wand and a brew. So those things are definitely in need of it. So there are certain bylaws or must have things are there in certain stories, certain concepts, and we should not miss that when we are writing the stories. The next is how we narrate the story. The story narration, we have three types. One is self-narration. There's something like the main character telling about the story from start to end. You've heard about this book called The Princess Diaries. It is a book with 7 parts, and it was completely written from the main female character, how she sees, how she talks, how she thinks, only from her perspective, only from her point of view, how she sees. She explains her life in a way. So that is like the main self-narration. That kind of story, it's called self-narrative story. The main character tells their story. The one advantage of this story is it looks realistic. It looks as if someone is telling us a story and we are listening to their life. We can express more emotions. We can express more opinions, but only about the main character. So that is one advantage of it. The second type of narration is the second person's narration. That is, I am standing in front of the main character and I'm seeing what the main character does, and I will be talking like, you are doing this, you are doing this, you are doing this. This doesn't, you cannot see this type of story majorly because this doesn't create a clear picture on which character I'm standing in front of and whom I am talking about. So this doesn't sell much. But the third type, the third person's point of view, also it is also called as eagle point of view, where you're standing at the top of the story and seeing about all the characters and trying to see what is happening. It is something like you're watching a movie or watching some scenes outside the scene, outside the box. So that's the kind of stories called as third person's narration story, which is also called as eagle view of the story. This gives a detailed explanation what is happening, and also it gives you more like a more like a reader of the movie. And also these type of narrations will give a good advantage of converting it into audiobooks, because audiobooks is the next major market we are seeing in the book industry. So these are the various type of narration. But what you need to understand, what you should not do when you are writing a story is, when you are doing a narration is, you should not do two things. One, information dump, and second, the description dump. Information dump is too much of information. When you're talking about, when you're introducing about the male character, sometimes they'll describe the physique, yes. There is no need for you to start describing each and every part of the male very in detail, or where the male is standing, how the tree looks like, what are all the fruits in the tree, what are all the things are there in the garden, what are all the things are there in the house. Too much of information or too much of description will make the readers lose interest. So it should be more on a balanced side, not too many information, not no information at all. It should be on a balanced side. You should know where you should start and where you should stop. So these two things are big no-no, because when I wrote my first books, after reading it, I was getting a comment like, your story is good, you've written a good plot, but you're not seeing any description or information. It looks as if I'm reading some news snippet. I need to feel the story. I'm not seeing any narration at all. So something like you need to understand, like you need to get in line with the story to give some description and information for the people to feel the story, but not too much of information and description. And next is the titles. Always I suggest you first you write the story and then go for the title, because when we frame the title first, we will have a catch that I need to write my story in line with the title. I will put a box and I try to write the story inside the box. But if I don't phrase the title, but only the plot line, and I try to write the complete story, the complete book, I can able to expand my horizon. I can able to change. The plot might get changed altogether into a different one at the end. So that expansion of horizon will help me to write even a better story, a polished story. And then if I go for a title, I'll have more freedom from both my story as well as my title. And don't go for a long title. Maximum you can go for 3 to 5 words. And also you need to give, the reader should understand what the story is all about by reading the title. To be what, why, how, when. Say, for example, like when you would have heard about these stories in our kindergarten, right? The crow and the fox. Instead, we can say like the hungry crow and cunning fox. We'll easily understand what the story is all about. Rather than saying four cows, we can say power of unity. Rather than saying ugly duckling, we can say the gift of patience. All these things will explain what the story is all about. That will give a general idea for the reader. Should we go for this book or not go for this book? Because you need to understand, like, yes, obviously, as a writer, obviously our goal will be like, my book should sell. But my book should sell to the right kind of audience. If my book is not getting handed to the wrong kind of audience, my book will never sell in the future. So I should reach to the right kind of audience and my book should sell. Then your title should be perfect. And certain of the rules while writing your book is obviously obey the grammar, tenses, and punctuations. The tenses are the most important things because while we're writing, many of us will get confused with the present, past, and future tense. And we should know when I use past tense, I should use past tense throughout my book. When I use present tense, I should use present tense throughout my book. Not the chapter 1 with past tense, chapter 2 with present tense, chapter 3 with future tense. That doesn't look like. So you should have a consistent tenses, grammar, proper usage of grammar and punctuation. And also you should maintain a consistent style and tone in your book. And usage of your adjectives and adverbs should be restrained. A limited usage of adjectives and adverbs should be there. Too much of adjectives and adverbs, I'll tell you, while reading the book, your reader will get distracted and they will lose interest in it. And also the don'ts of your book is don't have too much of description, as I already said. Don't use unintentional repetition. There are certain punchlines, or there are certain actions, or there are certain events that you need to repeat in your story sometimes from start till end. But don't repeat throughout again and again and again. That will lose the interest of the readers. And also altogether jumping to a different point of view. Many of us would have seen this in the mega serials that is getting telecast in TVs. They would have started the serial with a different plot line, and as the story travels, at the end, it will be completely altogether. Actually, this is happening in novels also, because currently many of the markets they want us writers to write 300, 400 episodes, and totally the writers is not getting the plot. They are completely changing the point of view altogether at the end of the story. We have seen this in many of the books. Please don't do that, because readers might lose interest in your books when you follow this kind of style. After writing the plot, the next important step is proofreading. So we need to check on all these things: the spelling, the punctuation, the formation, the accuracy, how we have written. All those things should be very good. And these are some of the sites I suggest you. These are all some of the sites which will give you a good feedback on your things. Grammarly is one good site where you can check on your grammars. What is one site I personally use is something like, it helps you to rephrase your entire narration in a more interesting way with certain usage of words, usage of sentences and all. And ChatGPT is also one good site where it completely gives a complete analysis of your plot and gives you a feedback. This narration doesn't look good. You can give more aura of mystery in this part. So those kind of suggestions you will get in ChatGPT that will help you to polish your stories even more. And the next step is publishing. I've proofread how I can publish, where I can go for it. In publishing, you have a lot of options in publishing. One, you can go for a free publishing, or you can go for a paid publishing. In case if you go for a free publishing, what is your story is all about? Is it your regional language in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, or is it in English? If you are having in regional language, you have many sites like Prathaliki, Wattpad, where you can publish it for free. Or there are certain websites where they exclusively run to publish regional language novels. Or if you're writing a novel or book in English, you have the sites called Wattpad and English. Because a lot of reader base, and when you publish your stories over there, you'll get a lot of feedback from reader. This is how you have written. You can improve in this way. This will help you to improve your writing. In case if you go for paid publishing, you have two options again. One is your self-publishing or through publishers. If you are going for self-publishing, these two sites are really good. One is Amazon Kindle. Second is Barnes and Noble Press. Amazon Kindle, you have good opportunities. Like if your book is in English, they help in publishing a physical book for you. You can publish the book in Amazon, and once the reader orders it, they themselves will print the book and send it to the reader. So this is for self-publishing. And if you are going to publishers, you need to identify where you are going to publish. Are you going to publish in your native country, or you're going for an international publications? You're going for international publications, you have a lot of sites, but these two sites I have reference with because I have a connection with. So I mentioned over here. One is the Good Novel site. They run through Singapore. And the second is Galatia app. They run from Berlin. Or if you're looking for the native country publications, Pustaka publications is one thing where you can publish your ebook. And Pustaka publication is one advantage is they publish both your ebook as well as your physical book as well. Because if anyone orders, they print a physical book and they send it to the readers. And then other options in your book is like audiobooks. You can go for various apps like Bookfm, Pocket FM, Storytel, where you can publish your books and you can get your royalty according to the readers who read your book. So these are some verified sites where you can earn by writing your book as well. So this is my journey of my books. I started from this book called Treasure Refound, which is just like more like a novella with just 10 chapters. And then as I got my feedback, I have published 5 English novels so far and 3 Tamil novels and 1 poetry book. And 3 of my books have been published as audiobook as well. So this is my journey of books. And you start writing whatever the novel is. The very first book, if I read now, I will laugh at myself. Did they write this? Because only if you keep on writing, your writing skills will improve and you can start writing beautiful books. So who knows? We have one another J.K. Rowling or we have one another Kalki in this place itself. So my best wishes for you. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Hi, Kumar. So yeah, this is not, I mean, first of all, congratulations for delivering a wonderful speech. Just wanted to understand, using the Grammarly, Quillbot, or the ChatGPT, how does it really enhance me? Because see, I know the mistakes that has been done that could be plotted, but how do I learn from it? What really makes me a better writer when some AI tool is enhancing my story? It is not my thought, right? Okay, it is my thought getting enhanced, but how do I develop from it? So, what is your thought on it?
Thank you, Jirish. That was a wonderful question because that is always like walking on a knife because you can fall on either way. So using of these AI tools is very tricky. One thing is like when you publish, when you post your book in there, when that site give you the suggestion, look on the suggestions what it has given. Look on the words. So sometimes we don't even know there are certain silly grammatical mistakes we do, but we think it is correct. But when that site corrects us, we know, oh, I am writing this wrong for so many years. So those smaller corrections you can make yourself. Don't simply blindly copy paste what it is giving it as a suggestion. You read it, you understand what are the mistakes you are making in your setting, and you try to correct physically by yourself. Don't use the suggestions what they are giving. And also don't go for you have certain options like co-writer options in Quillbot. Co-writer is something like when you give some scenario, the Quillbot itself will give the complete chapter on its own. Don't go for it. You write and you ask for the proofreader. I use only 2 options: proofreaders and grammar corrections. Only those 2. So the proofreader and grammar will just rephrase your grammar mistakes and the sentences around. It doesn't give its own thought. Your thought will be protected, preserved, and the suggestions that is given by the Quillbot will be only the grammar corrections. So what options you are using from that site matters. So any questions further?
Hi, Uma, I have a question.
Yes.
So this idea of writing a book, is it something that everybody should get into? Like you were talking about, like various ways how to identify the arc of the story and all, right? Is it
yes,
something?
thank you.
Yeah.
I suggest everyone to try it because like how we are practicing our communication by speaking out, by giving speeches, how it improves us. Toastmasters is an excellent platform. We are all experiencing it practically, right? By giving various speeches. We never ask the question, why should I give a speech in this topic? Why should I talk about it? But talking or giving a speech improves our communication skills. We are not going to use the same speech in our life in future, but definitely it helps us to improve our communication when we talk about something else in our future, in our life. Same way, when we try to write a book, It definitely enhances our writing knowledge. It definitely improves our writing knowledge, and that is one area you feel in how your knowledge can expand, how your English knowledge or whatever language, how your language knowledge is getting expanded by writing. Because there is a hell of a lot of difference between reading and writing, speaking and writing. So when you speak, you use certain words. The way you speak will be totally different. The accent, the tonality will be totally different. But when you write, it is altogether a new area. So your writing skills will definitely improve. It not just for the sake of you're like earning money or anything of that sort, but to improve yourself, to improve your knowledge. I suggest everyone to write at least one book in your life.
Thanks, Suma. I have a follow-up question to that. Now, if there is someone, who is thinking about writing the book for the very first time, the first thing that comes in their mind is like if they get a story or a plot for the story. It is quite possible, like we have lakhs of books around the world in different languages. The plot that we are using is already used by somebody. Somebody has already written a story around that. And it may be like a bestseller as well. So when we are in that situation, and how do you advise us to take it forward? Should we still consider going with that plot, or we should scrap it and look out for something that's never published? Or like, how do we do a fact check on that? Do you recommend doing something like that?
Thank you, Sandil. Yes, that was one beautiful question. Thank you for that. And to put mine out of my 9 books, I am damn sure that at least 4 to 5 books, lot would have been already there in another book. Because all of fictional, simple, romantic novels definitely would have been. All novels will be like one major male, one major female, how they meet, how they get together in life, and how they live happily ever after, right? So definitely one or other book the plot would have been in another book. What the difference is how I have written, how I have narrated, what is the scenario I have used, how I have traveled in that book. That is what matters. So even though if you feel like the plot is already there in another book, please don't think you need to scrap it out. Take it as a challenge and try to write how it totally differs from that original book. I mean, that another plot. It is not the original plot, a similar plot, I should say. So how your book is becoming totally different from that similar plot, and how people don't think about that plot. If I want to put even more, if you take the movie Bahubali, when I saw the movie Bahubali, I immediately remembered the epic Mahabharata. Obviously, 2 brothers, but the elder brother is not getting the throne, younger brother got the throne, and the younger brother's son and the elder brother's son are fighting for the throne again. Story of Mahabharata, we can say. But the way that the director Rajamouli has taken the movie, we don't remember the original, that epic Mahabharata. The same way how we narrate the story makes the difference, and don't think that your plot would already be there in some areas. The way you narrate is matters.
Thanks.
Any other question you have? In that case, I'll wind up the session and hand it over back to Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, for these amazing tips and tricks to write a book. When I came disciplined his workers for their mistakes. One day, as the employees came into work, they saw a sign on the door that read, "Yesterday, the person who has been holding you back from succeeding in this company passed away. Please gather for the funeral service in the assembly room." The employees were saddened for the family of the CEO, but upon entering the assembly room, many employees were surprised to see that the CEO was in fact present there. They wondered among themselves if it wasn't him who was holding us back from being successful. Who was it? Who has died? One by one, the employees approached the coffin, and upon looking inside, each was quite surprised. They didn't understand what they saw. In the coffin, there was simply a mirror. So when each employee looked into it, found out who had been holding back from being successful, and everyone saw themselves. Next to the mirror, there was a sign that read, "The only person who's able to limit your growth is you." So, with this thought, I would like to move ahead to our next session, which is the table topics session. And I would like to invite a person who is BE mechanical engineer with 10 years of experience in automotive sector, currently working with Isuzu Motor India, a Japanese-based car manufacturing company, which was one of his dream company. He joined Toastmasters to improve his communication and public speaking skills. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Sundarajan. Sundarajan, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmasters Jamie Romani. Good morning, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I will be playing Table Topic Masters today's meeting, and I will be picking up people randomly for the table topics. Before getting into table topics, the purpose of the table topic portion of our meeting is to provide an opportunity for members of the audience to practice improper speaking. Each table topic speaker is encouraged to remember and use the word of the day in their speech. Let's get started our meeting without delay. So, any volunteers?
I will go.
Yes. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. How has public speaking impact you, your personal growth and self-reflection? So, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, how has public speaking impact your personal growth and self-reflection?
How has public speaking influenced my personal growth and reflection? Well, every time I go and speak in public, I feel very confident about speaking. Most of the times, I speak without any prior preparation. That's a style which I have kind of taken from the very beginning. So I just look at the topic, I just frame my thoughts around it, and I go and speak. That's given me the opportunity to be very effective in what I'm speaking because I don't have to think a lot. The words come out of my heart. The thoughts that I want to tell come out of my heart, and it comes out in a very natural way. And when you speak in a natural way, I think it connects more with the audience. So that's something which has actually helped me. Every speech that I give, it also helps me to reflect on what I can do better. Okay. One of the things that it always tells me that you can do better is you can prepare and speak. But for some reason, I'm too lazy to write down a speech, rehearse it, and then go and speak. I've always been used to this concept of take a topic, frame your thoughts around it, and speak. So it's kind of helped me to connect with people also when I am working. So it doesn't give me the opportunity to falter for words when I have to speak something. So it allows me to speak in a very fluent and effective manner, and it also allows me to give myself that ability to experiment in every speech that I do. Because life is again full of experimentation. And when you experiment and you learn as you go and speak, it makes you a better individual. Writing down, speaking, and then going and preparing and all that, sometimes I feel that you get into a lot of preconceived notions, whereas speaking naturally allows you to speak what comes to your heart and you can connect very easily with the audience. Thank you, and back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster, actually. So I like your natural way of presentation. So next topic, I would like to invite other volunteers. Anyone? Hari Krishnan, would you like to in second topic?
I would like to try.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari. The second table topic. The second table topic is how do you encourage audience reflection and engagement during your speeches? So, table topic Master Uma Mageshwari, how do you encourage audience reflection and engagements during your speeches?
Thank you, Toastmaster Soundarajan. So, how do I encourage audience reflection during my speech? I use basically two techniques. One, breaking the ice for the audience to ask the questions. Something like touching the audience personal, making the audience connecting personally with the topic will make them break the ice to ask questions. And second is like me myself inducing the question. Yeah, I think you might be having this question. What to, how to, when to, where to. So when I ask that question in between my speeches, people will get connected to it and then they will try to ask that question back to us. And second important thing what we need to do while talking is listening carefully. Yes, we have to listen while talking. We have to listen to the body language of the audience. Are they really getting connected with the speech? Are they really listening to the speech? Are they getting bored? Are they getting diverted? Their body language will easily give away. So when you listen to the audience body language, you can get connected with the audience, more gel with them, and make them reflect our speech by asking the questions. So that is the technique I use personally. And over to Toastmasters on.
Thank you, Toastmaster Uma Mageshwari. I like your two way of encouraging audience reflection and engagement through asking questions personally and listening and focusing on body language of audience. Thank you. Next, any volunteers? So, Rajeshwari, would you like to third topic?
Yes, Toastmaster Soundarajan.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. How do you handle and learn from challenging or negative reflection about yourself? Toastmaster Rajeshwari, how do you handle and learn from challenging or negative reflection about yourselves? Over to Toastmaster Rajeshwari.
Thank you, Toastmaster Soundarajan. Thanks for giving such a different topic to me. Yeah. Actually, mostly I used to prefer accepting the challenges, and from that I could understand where I am lagging and how I can improve myself and how it will take me to the next level. So in my day-to-day activities and also in my professional life, I used to accept the place where the people are struggling to take their task to next level. Somewhat in 2015, I was got such a wonderful opportunity. All my team members were struggled to accept one project which was highlighted and escalated by stakeholders, and people those who were worked on that end up with the bad name. So at that time, the people those who supported that project long years were in a situation to move away from that organization. So finally, after my manager had discussion with all my team members, no one was ready to accept that. Finally, she was in a situation to hand that over to me. So at that time, I was in a situation to prove myself to my organization. So I simply accepted that. That time also I got some instruction like it is not good to accept this time. It may degrade your name, and you may be in a you may be in a situation to move away from here if you are not handle it very in a good manner. So even I am getting a lot of things like that. I simply told to the people those who are spoken like that. I told like it is the right time to accept this challenge. If I lose to accept, definitely I will not get any visibility going forward. Likewise, I told. So finally I accepted and put lot of effort, and that time only I got married. So even on having some personal, somewhat I gave more concentration on that. After 1 year, somewhat that project was run without any flaws, and we got the great appreciation from the stakeholders itself. So this is how somewhat we can accept the challenge to prove ourselves that we can make something well and good. Thank you, Toastmaster Soundarajan. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. I like your acceptance. The challenging is one of the very good manner. It's moving to next level. So thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. So anyone, Hari Krishnan, guest Sendil, would you like?
Yes, Soundarajan. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Hari Krishnan. So when you face with a difficult decision, what does reflection play in your decision-making process? Toastmaster Hari Krishnan, when you faced with a difficult decision, what does reflection play in your decision-making process? Over to Toastmaster Hari Krishnan.
Thank you, Soundarajan. During such situations, generally in my childhood days, I would be becoming panic. But after completing my graduation and post-graduation, I learned the art of overcoming these challenges by understanding of the past experience and taking the guidance from the elders or from the experts. If not, I will take the decisions from my. If not, I will take the decisions from my friends who are facing such situations. I will take the inputs and I will try to implement in that situation. If not, I will try to overcome that with my own experience, how I am facing the challenge during that situation, and I will try to little bit use my experience and try to overcome. Generally, sometimes it will take some kind of decision making is a little bit difficult, but over a period of time, I will see the results. If that is looking positive, I will go in that direction. If not, I will change the decision making into different format, which will suit to that situation. Based on that, I will take the situation. But generally, facing this type of situations, it is some type of reflections on my decision making, sometimes bad and sometimes good. When it comes to good, I will try to gain more knowledge, and if fails, I will take the help of my friends who can support me during that time. Reflections on the decision making definitely varies from situation to situation, but anyways, I will be fond of acting to that situations to my greatest level, and I will try to overcome that situation. Thank you, and over to you, Soundarajan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hari Krishnan. So make mistake and learn positive is the one of the way, as you said. It's a correct. Thank you. So with this, actually, I conclude this meeting. Thanks to all participants and guests for being such a wonderful speech. So now hand over the section to General Evaluator, Toastmaster Jemi Romani.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Soundarajan, for this wonderful session, and thank you for keeping us engaged through your amazing table topic session. Now we have come to the most crucial section of the agenda, which is the evaluation. And I would like to call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Girish, to share his report.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Jemi Romani. So moving on to the evaluation segment. First, we will listen to the evaluation for the prepared speech segment. For that, let me call Toastmaster Sendil. Toastmaster Sendil, could you please step forward and provide your evaluation feedback on Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari's. Toastmaster Sendil.
I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari. The title you have chosen, I would like to start from there, P2P. It was a good acronym that you used. And in fact, when Girish gave the speech title to me, it was kind of creating a curiosity. So you got it right there when you chose the topic of P2P, the plot to publish. And it is completely in sync with the content that you had brought in in your speech. And again, talking about the content, like our educational speaker told today, like you should choose a topic that's comfortable to you so that you can go ahead and go on with your own natural flow when you do the speech. And I think you did that too. Having written a lot of books, you have your own wealth of knowledge to talk about it. You did use a presentation, but that was there and you had your own natural flow when you were delivering your speech. So it was a great selection for this project that you went for the plot to publish as your area. Then you had a beautiful structure inside your speech. You were talking about the arc of the story, which is the most important thing to be identified. And then you brought in the other elements like the characters, parts, narrations. Those are the elements to be taken care of. And the do's and don'ts. And you gave a beautiful flow chart as well, like how I want to go for. If at all I have to go for a publication, that was a good flow chart that you gave. On the whole, like if I see the content, it was like a blueprint to start with the story and what are the elements to look out for and how to get it published. You have covered everything in that. And I guess you managed the timing as well in a very good way in your speech. Now, there are certain things that I felt missing in your speech. The first thing is you should have checked the audience. They call it as a dip test in engineering, checking your audience. Who are they? What are they want? Some of them may have already written a book. Some of them have thought about it, may not have written a book. Some of them may be thinking that writing a book is not my area. I don't even read a book. So you should have asked that question, check how many of them, even in a larger group, you could have asked them to raise hands and understand how many percentage of your audience are there interested and how many percentage of them feels that writing book is not their area. And then maybe you can touch upon all of those areas and tell them, today's speech, I'm going to tell you something, some tips, even if you have published a few books, I've got some tips for you in my speech. And maybe the other audience to other part of the group, tell them like, if you have not even thought about writing a book, today I think I'm going to make you think about it and maybe take you to the first step. That way, you are connecting with your audience and the audience get engaged with your speech right from the beginning. So I think that is one thing you must have done when you started the speech. And the second thing is building a credibility as a speaker. You did that at the end of your speech, but I think that's something you should have done. Even if the host introduces you as a author and you have done a lot of books, even if it goes that direction, when you open up your content, you should build your own credibility. Let people know like who you are, how you have published, and how many publications you have done, how many books are being sold. That builds a credibility for you. And the audience will have a natural connect with you, like, oh, it is this person that I'm listening to. So yes, this is the content that I'm going to get for my life. So I think those are the two things that you should have included in your speech. With that, your speech would have been even more effective for the audience. And all the very best to your future speeches. And over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Senthil, for your valuable feedback. I hope that will really help Toastmaster Kumar to better our next speeches. With this, we will move on to our tag team report. First, let me call timer, the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, to provide the timer report. Satish, could you please step forward and read out the timer report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Girish. So the meeting started on time. The SA took the right time to open the meeting. The presiding officer took 2 minutes more than what was scheduled in the actual agenda to do the opening presiding officer address. The secretary report also took 2 minutes more than what was scheduled in the agenda. The overall TMOD introduction and the tag team introduction, instead of 7 minutes, it took 8 minutes 23 seconds. There was a 5-minute delay in setting up the presentation for Toastmaster Satish Menon's speech. This was because of the technical difficulties, so we lost 5 minutes there. His actual speech was scheduled for 15 minutes, but it went to 17 minutes and 21 seconds. Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari's prepared speech was timed at 20 minutes 9 seconds. Again, here we did not have a Q&A session budgeted in the agenda, but we took 11 minutes for the Q&A for the speech. which resulted in the meeting again overshooting by all the delays that were getting cascaded throughout. For the table topic session, Toastmaster Satish Menon took 1 minute 58 seconds. Toastmaster Uma took 1 minute 19 seconds. Toastmaster Rajeshwari took 2 minutes 41 seconds. And Toastmaster Hari took 1 minute 43 seconds. For the evaluation session, Toastmaster Sendil took 2 minutes 59 seconds. That's my overall timer report, and back to you, Toastmaster Girish.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster, for the detailed timer report. Next, we will hear the R-counter report from Toastmaster Hari Krishna. Toastmaster Hari Krishna, could you please provide the R-counter report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Girish. Please find the R-counter report for the meeting 360. In the education session, when Toastmaster Satish Menon giving speech, I did not found any filler words or overused words. Overall, it is a flawless speech. And next, coming to the prepared speech, Toastmaster Umameshwari, I listened 5 times and 1 time and no other repetitive words or filler words. Coming to the table topics, Toastmaster Uma, I did not find any filler words. Coming to Rajeshwari, Toastmaster Rajeshwari, I will listen of 13 times, so 2 times, 1 like 1 time, and repetitive words and 3 times, that 2 times. When myself I was giving table topic session, I did not note it down as I was speaking. And coming to Toastmaster Satish, I did not find any filler words. In the evaluation session for the Toastmaster Sente, I found 1 or times, 2 times. This is the overall R-counter report. Thank you, and over to you, Girish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hari Krishna, for your valuable R-counter report. Next, we will hear the grammarian report from Toastmaster Rajeshwari. Toastmaster Rajeshwari, could you please provide the grammarian report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Girish. In today's meeting, I could see a lot of highlights and we had a lot of takeaways. In that, I noted down a few of the highlights. In education session and prepared speech, I noted out some highlights like positive experiences, motivation, educational experience, credibility, economics, familiar about the subject, enthusiasm and interest, eye opener, protagonist, incorporate, transition of characters, princess diary, eagle view, out of the box, power of unity, the gift of passions, proofreading. These are all the highlights I noted down during the entire meeting. And few of the recommendation for few lines, some kind of decision making little bit difficult. Instead, we could say that making certain decisions can be a little challenging. And one more changes, I will take with help of my friend, that can be mentioned like I will take using my friend's assistance. With that, I hand over the control to Toastmaster Girish. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeshwari. So here comes my general evaluation. So the meeting started at time. Presiding officer's address on time management. Wow, that was very effective. So it is very important to manage one's time, but it is more important to value others' time. So it is very much needed that you have to join the meeting on time in order to respect others' time. So that was one thing that I really loved it. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, for the wonderful address on the importance of time management. Moving on to the educational session, again, the keynote speaker, the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, came up with an effective topic. It really helps everyone know how to choose a topic, because many a time I would have drafted my script somewhere or other, but I will be struggling on selecting a topic. But it is very much important on how to select a topic, and in order to deliver your speeches circling around that topic. So it really helped everyone to know on how to deliver and how to select a topic in this Toastmaster platform. Thank you so much, the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon, for that. Then again, the speech from Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari, which seems to be an educational speech again, a lot of takeaways, explaining the end-to-end necessities on, from plotting your story, on how to publish that story. So that was again wonderfully delivered by Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari. Kudos to Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari. Special thanks to, again, the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon for taking up the role of timer and successfully playing that throughout the meeting. Special mention to Toastmaster Soundararajan, because Toastmaster Soundararajan is attempting the role of table topic master for the first time, and he has done that in a very good way. So a big round of applause to Toastmaster Soundararajan. We could see certain glitches here and there. It generally happens in the online meeting. But the one thing I really loved it is Toastmaster of the Day, Jamie Romani. Toastmaster of the Day, Jamie Romani, stepped in and filled the gaps effectively. A special applause to be given to her because the time, got wasted here and there was effectively managed because she cut down the script. She really managed to fill in the gaps effectively, and throughout the segment, actually, she was doing a great job as a Toastmaster of the Day. So special mention to Toastmaster of the Day. Overall, it was a very good meeting, and once again, a quality meeting from Thoughtware Toastmasters Club. With this, I hand over the control back to the Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Jamie Roman. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Girish, for your detailed report. Friends, in life, how often have we stopped ourselves from being the best version due to our limiting beliefs, which we term as our fears? We can't blame anyone else if we are not living up to our potential. Remember, the only thing that matters is our opinion about ourselves. So let us go ahead in life and live a successful life by reminding ourselves of who we are rather than defining ourselves as who the world thinks we are. So let us have a mind that conceives, a heart that believes, and there you can see yourself achieve anything. Friends, I would like to conclude by asking you to reflect upon what are your limiting beliefs? Thank you so much. And I would like to hand over the control back to our presiding officer, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jemmy, for conducting a very effective session today. And also your inputs and thoughts were very, very relevant for today's meeting. We had only limited participation, but that doesn't matter because as Toastmaster Girish mentioned, it's all about how effective we are as Toastmasters. That's what is very important. If you can all switch on your cameras, you can just take a photo. Everybody, if you can just have your camera switched on for a minute. Sendil?
I'm sorry, I just stepped out of the house. I'm really sorry for that.
No problem. No problem. Jemmy? Jemmy's on. One is Girish backup, so that's fine. And just a minute, let me see if it has come properly. Yes, yes, it has. So thank you, everybody. Girish, you want to announce the polls?
Yes, Satish, I have pasted the link in the chat box where I request everyone to vote for the best role players.
Also, please note that all our club videos are being uploaded on Thoughtware YouTube channel. So request everyone to kindly take a look at those videos, because sometimes when we see ourselves speaking on a recording, there are a lot of things that we can learn about ourselves. The way we speak, our body language, the speed of our speech. Are we using any unnecessary filler words? Are we looking at the camera, not looking at the camera? Are we standing still? So there are a lot of things that we can learn about ourselves. So request everyone to please go and review those recordings. It's also a good idea to share some of this with your fellow members and friends, because all of these meetings have some kind of educational value in them. So people wanting to know more about Toastmasters and to know more, like today Uma's speech was all about how to write and publish a book. Now that's a generic topic. It's got nothing to do with only Toastmasters. Anybody can use it. We can share some of those videos. It will be also helpful for others to learn from whatever we do in our club meetings. It is ready, Jirish?
Yes, Satish.
Yeah.
So we can go. So today we had only one prepared speech. So the best prepared speaker goes to Toastmaster Uma Maheshwari. Moving on to the best table topics. So we have Toastmaster Hari acing as a best table topic speaker today. Best role player is the table topic master, Toastmaster Soundararajan. Congratulations to Toastmaster Soundararajan for acing as the best role player of the day. The best evaluator, again, it is Toastmaster Sendil. Congratulations to Toastmaster Sendil. And the best auxiliary role player is Time War, the distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Congratulations to distinguished Toastmaster. With this, I hand over the control back to the presiding officer, distinguished.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jirish. So this brings us to the end of our meeting number 360 of Thoughtware Toastmasters Club. Thank you all for joining today, and we look forward to your presence in our next meeting, meeting number 361, next Saturday, same time. Till then, have a great weekend and a great week coming up. I formally adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.